Creation, God's masterpiece. Welcome to Daily Bible, where we uncover the timeless stories of Scripture that reveal God's incredible love, purpose, and plan for humanity. Today, we journey to the very foundation of our faith, the creation story in Genesis 1 and 2. This is not just the account of how the universe began, it is a revelation of who God is, His intentionality, and His love for us. As we explore the intricacies of creation, let us reflect on how this story speaks to our own lives, offering hope, identity, and purpose. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. Genesis 1:1. These opening words set the stage for a magnificent work of art. Before God's intervention, there was chaos. The earth was formless, void, and enveloped in darkness. Yet hovering over the waters was the Spirit of God, ready to bring forth life and order. With His first words, "Let there be light," God pierced the darkness, and light obeyed His command. He separated the light from the darkness, calling them day and night, establishing the first division of time. This marked day one, a powerful declaration of God's ability to bring clarity and hope where there was none. Genesis 1:1-5. On the second day, God created the sky, an expanse that separated the waters above from the waters below. This vast, open space would later become a canvas for clouds, stars, and the beauty of the heavens. The sky reminds us of God's grandeur, His ability to create something both vast and intimate, a space that speaks of His glory and our connection to Him. Genesis 1:6-8. On the third day, God gathered the waters to reveal dry land, which He called earth, and the gathered waters, which He called seas. Then, with another command, the earth burst into life. Vegetation of every kind appeared, grass, plants that bear seeds, and fruit trees of all varieties. Each plant was created with the ability to reproduce according to its kind, a testimony to God's provision and abundance. This wasn't merely about survival, it was about beauty and abundance, showing God's desire for a world that not only sustains life, but celebrates it. Genesis 1:9-13. On the fourth day, God filled the sky with celestial bodies. He created the sun to govern the day and the moon to govern the night, placing stars across the heavens to serve as markers for seasons, days, and years. These heavenly lights were more than functional. They were a reflection of God's order and creativity, a way to measure time and bring beauty to the night sky. The precision and detail of this act remind us that God is a God of order, who brings structure and meaning to our lives. Genesis 1:14-19. Let's pause here. The first 4 days of creation reveal God's meticulous attention to detail and His ability to create with purpose and beauty. These acts of creation are not distant or impersonal. They show us a God who cares deeply about His world and desires to make it perfect. If this story moves you, take a moment to subscribe to Daily Bible. Together, we'll continue to uncover the life-changing truths of Scripture and their relevance to our lives. On the fifth day, God filled the waters and skies with life. From the smallest fish to the largest sea creatures, from tiny sparrows to majestic eagles, every living being was spoken into existence by His word. He blessed them, saying, "Be fruitful and increase in number and fill the water in the seas, and let the birds increase on the earth." Genesis 1:22. This act wasn't just about creating, it was about flourishing, about filling the earth with motion, sound, and life. On the sixth day, God turned His attention to the land. He created animals of every kind, livestock, wild beasts, and creatures that crawl along the ground. Each was crafted with care, given a place and purpose within His grand design. Then God's greatest masterpiece came into being. He said, "Let us make mankind in our image and our likeness, so that they may rule over the fish in the sea and the birds in the sky, over the livestock and all the wild animals, and over all the creatures that move along the ground." Genesis 1:26. Out of the dust of the earth, God formed the first man, Adam, and breathed into his nostrils the breath of life. This act was deeply personal. God's breath gave Adam life, setting humanity apart from all other creation. Later, God saw that it was not good for man to be alone, so He caused Adam to fall into a deep sleep, took one of his ribs, and from it created the first woman, Eve. Together, they became the first family, reflecting God's desire for relationship, unity, and love. Genesis 2:7-18-24. God gave Adam and Eve dominion over the earth, charging them to care for it and steward its resources. He also placed them in the Garden of Eden, a paradise filled with every tree that was pleasing to the eye and good for food. At the center of the garden stood the tree of life and the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. God's instructions were clear. They were free to eat from any tree in the garden except the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. This command set the stage for humanity's free will and the choices that define our relationship with God. Genesis 2:8-17. On the seventh day, God rested. His work was complete, and he declared all that he had made very good. He blessed the seventh day and made it holy, setting an example for humanity to rest and reflect on his goodness. Rest is not just about ceasing from labor. It's about celebrating the Creator and finding peace in his presence. Genesis 2:1-3. The creation story is more than an account of how the world began. It is a declaration of who God is. It shows his power, creativity, and intentionality. Every detail, every act was purposeful, revealing a God who is both mighty and deeply loving. It reminds us that we are not accidents or afterthoughts. We are masterpieces, created in his image, designed for relationship with him and one another. This story speaks to our hearts even today. No matter the chaos or emptiness in your life, the God who brought light into darkness and order into confusion is at work in you. He is creating something beautiful, purposeful, and eternal. Thank you for joining me as we explored the creation story in all its detail and beauty. This story reminds us of the greatness of God and his love for us, a love that calls us to live with purpose and hope. If this message has touched your heart, don't forget to subscribe to Daily Bible for more inspiring stories and lessons from Scripture. Until next time, may your heart be filled with awe at God's creation, your faith strengthened by his presence, and your life a reflection of his glory and love.